The concept of an item set contains a set of items. For instance, we have an item set for those items, saying that the set includes milk and other cake ingredients like eggs, flour, cocoa. This is an item set. Now, these item sets you see here contain bicycle parts, such as a bicycle chainstay and the tires with sizes mentioned here. An item set has been created here. Size is the number of items in the item set, but don't worry, we'll see these in our practical example, and you'll understand what these size and item set concepts are. Frequent items are common in prevalent items. Well, these are in fact the items that have been repeated a lot in the organization or business, and the experts already know about them. So they'll already know when you inform them on the frequent items, and they'll say that these items are repeated a lot. Support is the number of transactions in the item set. Suppose you've got an item set, milk and eggs. This is your item set. The trained model tells you that 3,000 or 4,000 of your invoices have both these items in your item set. You want to see which invoices they are? You can get their details by drilling through. But when does this drill through tell you about the details? When you have already clicked the drill through option when building the model. You gotta determine the size of the item set. For example, this item set, milk and cake ingredients, has 2 items in it. If you say that your item set size is 5, it shows you item sets with 5 items, alright? It searches for invoices that have these 2 items and shows them to you. If you tell it beforehand that you only want item sets with these 2 items as the outputs, just 2 and not more, so it searches for invoices with these 2 items. The invoices might include 100 items, but these 2 must be among them. What are the items in the bicycle parts example? It's the income group. It says mountain bikes have been purchased more by those with high incomes. It has created an item set including mountain bikes and high income status. You take a look and see people with high incomes have bought the mountain bike. How many cases were there? For example, there were 5,000 invoices with mountain bikes on them purchased by people with high incomes. Some of you may ask, should we create this item set? The answer is definitely not. It searches for the item set itself and finds those unknown patterns in no time and gives them to you. This is the whole point of data mining, to discover and report the unknown patterns. If you wanted to get these results yourself, you'd have to run n numbers of queries. You couldn't have gotten these results so easily. The next concept is probability. It determines the probability of every rule occurring. It makes some rules for you. You'll see them a little later. They're in the Rule tab. It has created some rules, and each rule has a probability of occurring. It can easily tell you all about it. We have another concept called importance. It's a score for measuring and evaluating rules and item sets. It tells you that this is your item set and your rule has this specific score. I'll tell you about how the rules are scored. You could read about this probability under confidence and association rule in the books. I don't want to get into the math side of it too much. It says that what the probability of B given A is. It has a formula. It calculates the support of A and B and divides the result by the support of A. The result is this probability that is forming. This number is the probability, and the higher it is, the more valuable it will be. If it's 1, it means the probability is 100%. And if it's smaller, it means other percentages like 30, 50, or 40%. Importance is the degree of significance that tells you how important the item set of A and B is. It has calculated the probability of A and B and divided them by the probability of A multiplied by the probability of B. That's the formula to calculate importance. We got nothing to do with the formulas. We don't want to get involved with them. In the end, the system gives you a number as the importance. If the importance is 1, it means the set is independent. which means A and B are completely independent. In other words, if the importance is calculated to be 1, it means that the purchase of items A and B are completely independent from each other. The system has made this into a rule and tells you about its condition. If the importance is smaller than 1, it counts as negative correlation and means that the person who buys A probably won't buy B. And if the importance is greater than 1, it means the correlation is positive, and if someone buys A, he will probably buy B too. In the item set it has given me, it says that if the correlation between buying milk and eggs is greater than 1, the importance is greater than 1, which means the one who buys milk is likely to buy eggs too. Alright, let's go to the Visual Studio environment and actually work with these concepts. Look here now, you have a series of rules. These rules were created for you based on your data and the adjustments you've made. Let me hit show long names so that it shows the complete names. What does it report importance to be here? It says 1.366. The thing that's happened is that according to what we talked about regarding the importance greater than 1 indicates positive correlations. It means if someone buys A, they will buy B too. Here, it has calculated the rule's probability. What does the rule itself say? The rule says that if a tire in this size, as well as a patch kit, are among the items of an order, what is the most probable result? There's a great possibility that ML road tire is in the order too. This is the result it gives you. You ask the drill through option to tell you the condition for this result, and it tells you it's been like this in all instances. If you pay attention, you'll see that this has happened in all these instances. Now, I ask it to give me item sets. It tells me you have an item set including people from the high income group. Well, that's obvious. What is the number of people with a high income? The number of people who have this item set is 3,648. Do you want to see more details about this item set? Perform a drill through and it tells you exactly who these people were. It tells you that from all these purchases, most of them were made by people with high incomes. Here's another item set including Sport 100 bicycles and the high income group. What's the size of this item? It's 2 since there are 2 items in it. And how many people have it? 1,058, which means there are 1,058 registered invoices including these 2 items, one of which was buying the Sport 100 bicycle and the other was having a high income. In minimum support and minimum item set, you can determine what item sets the software should show you in the outputs. For example, you could ask it to show you item sets with a size of 2 and minimum registered invoices of 20. You just easily enter your desired values in these 2 sections. Alright, you may ask yourselves what these are. Where are we on the theoretical path we talked about? The answer is that these are the descriptive goals we talked about before. If you remember, I mentioned that our goals in data mining are basically either descriptive or predictive. You see that it's talking about the current condition. It tells you, I've done my searching using the association rule algorithm, and I could make these results for you and get these relationships. You see that it doesn't tell you anything about the future and is simply discussing the current situation in the business smartly. You should check that with the expert. The expert, who has years of experience, takes a look at your results and says, I know about this and this, but didn't know about this. He takes the rules that are not obvious and he didn't already know about and uses them in the business. You're not supposed to simply hand over the output to him. You could do it professionally, write the queries yourself, and use C# or any programming language you know to take the results into a grid and show them to the expert every morning, telling him these are the new extracted rules. The business owner will figure it out, make deductions, and consider some things in sales he didn't used to know about in his business. You could discover that we have an item set. What is it? Roll bottle cage and water bottle are introduced as an item set. The salesman might not even know that these items are being sold a lot together. For example, he takes a percentage off of the price to sell more and make more profit, alright? These are called the item sets that are being extracted.